Welcome to a Barnes & Noble's book haul. Today I don't have anything cozy or warm to drink with me because I already had my cup of coffee in the morning, but I do have my candle. So we're gonna light up our candle to set the cozy ambiance. We have our candle lit. I'm gonna put that right over there. So that could only mean that it's time to talk about some books. Okay, we're gonna set this right over here because these are pretty heavy. Hello friends, welcome to a new video. I am so happy that you are here. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kim. I am an author illustrator, and here on my channel I love to create cozy and intentional content about books, writing, and lifestyle. So if all that sounds good to you, I welcome you to subscribe to join our cozy community here on my channel. If you like cozy and intentional videos and just feel good videos, well, at least that's what I'm hoping I'm giving off on here, then please join us here. I have a goal to make it to 5,000 subscribers. I made my first goal this year of making it to 1,000 subscribers, and I'm currently at 1,500, I believe. So please, your engagement really helps with the YouTube pushing my videos out for the community or the people that like these kinds of videos. So subscribing, engaging, commenting, liking, sharing, all that good stuff really helps out my channel, and it gives me the opportunity to create these kinds of videos for folks who like watching these kinds of videos. So that being said, friends, I got some books. I got some really special and cool books that I really want to share with you all. You've seen me go on a little Barnes & Noble's shopping spree. I got a couple of gift cards for Christmas. By the way, if you celebrate Christmas, I hope that you had a very wonderful and enjoyable Christmas. I hope that you were surrounded by love and safety and by good food and just a nurturing environment. And if that so happened to have lacked a little bit, then I hope that you can find ease and comfort with community members here on BookTube. I know I do. I love watching other BookTube creators and just community members comment and engage, and it just makes it feel more like a sense of family, and it makes what sometimes can feel rather a little bit lonely just feel less lonely. So I hope that you can find that here on BookTube, here on my channel, here in this video. So with that being said, friends, yes, I went on a little shopping spree. I got a couple of gift cards for Christmas, and they also had that sale that they usually have the day after Christmas. I think it's the 26th through like the 29th or something like that. I think it might still even be going on right now. I don't know if it's still going to be going on by the time this video goes up. Though I do remember that the sale last year was more. I could have sworn that last year, I think on the 26th, they had all hardcovers were 50% off at Barnes & Noble's, and this year they were only 33% off on all hardcovers, which is still not a bad deal, but I could have sworn that last year it was 50% off, but that wasn't the case this year. Nonetheless, we still went shopping. I had 2 gift cards, and as you can tell, I went a little crazy, you guys. But the good thing is that I got some books that I really wanted to get. These are all books that are ranging from fantasy to cozy fantasy to graphic novels. The trash is passing by. It's just always perfect timing, isn't it? It's always something when I start filming. Besides my little Barnes & Noble shopping spree, I also have a few books that I want to share with you. One that I thrifted, and then 2 that were sent to me by viewers on here, and I'm so excited to share these with you all. So I'm going to do those at the very end. But for now, let's start off with our Barnes & Noble's book haul. There's some books on here that were on my list for the longest time that I wanted to get. There were some on here that I just ran into at Barnes & Noble's, and I was like, that sounds really cool and interesting, and I'm gonna pick that up. And to be completely honest, I have no clue, or at least I did know what these books were about, but it's been a while because they've been sitting on my book wish list and I forgot what they were about, but I somehow added them on there because I'm pretty sure I read about them somewhere, and I went on Goodreads and I added them to my want to read pile. I have here about 8 books that I bought from Barnes & Noble's, so let's get into it. This is not going to be in any particular order, and I'm going to go as fast as I can just for the sake of not making this video super long. So let's start off with, this is a middle grade, I know that for sure. This little cute and cozy middle grade. This is The Dark Lord Clementine by Sarah Jean Horwitz. Look at that cover, you guys. It is so cute. The Dark Lord Clementine. Dark Lord, evil protagonist. I'm here for that. It says here, dastardly deeds aren't the first thing that come to mind when one hears the name Clementine, but as the heir of the infamous Dark Lord Elithor, 12-year-old Clementine Morceras has been groomed since birth to be the best, worst, evil overlord she can be. Then everything changes the day her father is cursed by a mysterious rival. Now Clementine must take on the full responsibility of the Dark Lord, but when it's time for her to perform dastardly deeds against the townspeople, including her brand new friends, she begins to question her father's code of good and evil. I love a good evil turns good type of trope. This looks like a really cozy middle grade read. The next one that I have on here has been something that I've been having this on my want to read for a while now, and I finally found it at Barnes & Noble's, and that is The Alchemy of Moonlight by David Ferraro. Look at that cover, you guys. It even has like a little holographic type of residue on there that just looks so pretty. It says here, trapped in a world of straight expectations, queer Marquis Emile longs for independence. So when his aunt declares he must marry to produce an heir or be disowned, he runs away disguised as a servant until he can come of age and reclaim his inheritance. All Emile needs to do is to keep his head down and bide his time, but he quickly stumbles into a mystery beyond his imagination. While working in the service of the intimidating Count Montani and his family, Emile learns that they they suffer from a strange affliction every full moon, which requires full sedation. And when he discovers a mangled corpse on the estate the same night as suspicious family arguments break out, he reports it. But Emil cannot guess what lengths Count Montani is willing to go to keep his family secrets safe. As Emil becomes more entangled in the household and its paranormal origins, his inquiries draw the attention of the handsome Dr. Brom and the Count's charismatic nephew Henry. But how can Emil earn the esteem of the earnest doctor while keeping his own identity and desires a secret? And how can he trust, let alone love, Henry, a man as mercurial as the ever-changing moon? To find the love he deserves and survive the Montani family, Emil will have to risk his title as well as his life. You guys, if you've seen some of my other book review videos before, you know that I haven't had the best luck at a good werewolf novel. So I have really high expectations for this one. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that one. Okay, the next book that I picked up is one that I am super anticipating because I've seen this everywhere. I follow the author on Instagram, and the way that she talks about her books, it just makes me so excited for this book. So that is What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. You guys, and the hardcover of this is just look at that. This has Egyptian, I believe, mythology, so that is the inspiration behind the hardcover design. And on top of that, look at that, you guys. That just, oh, that is so gorgeous. Even that looks really pretty. I would display this without the dust jacket. It's so beautiful. I've read so much that this is kind of like giving Indiana Jones or the Mummy type of vibe. And as someone who grew up on the Mummy and also on Indiana Jones, I am so excited for this. So it says here, Bolivian Argentinian Inés Olivera belongs to the glittering upper society of 19th century Buenos Aires. And like the rest of the world, the town is steeped in old world magic that's been largely left behind or forgotten. Inés has everything a girl might want, except for the one thing she yearns for the most, her globetrottering parents, who frequently leave her behind. When she receives word of their tragic deaths, Inés inherits their massive fortune and a mysterious guardian, an archaeologist in partnership with his Egyptian brother-in-law. Yearning for answers, Inés sails to Cairo, bringing her sketch pads and a golden ring her father sent to her for safekeeping before he died. But upon her arrival, the old world magic tethered to the ring pulls her down a path where she discovers there's more to her parents' disappearance than what the guardian led her to believe. With her guardian's infiltratingly handsome assistant thwarting at her every turn, Inés must rely on ancient magic to uncover the truth about her parents' disappearance, or risk becoming a pawn in a largely game that will kill her. You guys, it says the mummy meets death on the Nile in this lush, immersive historical fantasy filled with adventure, a rivals to lovers romance, and shocking twists and turns. Please do yourself a favor and go pick this up. Not only will you be supporting a fellow Latin author, but also the storyline and the plot sounds really good. So I have really high expectations for this one, and it's probably going to be one of the first books that I read in 2024. All right, the next one that I have on here is actually a graphic book, and I actually seen this because I follow on TikTok Meg, or I believe their handle is Meg's Tea Room, which I love all of their cozy book recommendations. They have like a cozy vibe and it's just so cute. If you don't already follow Meg's Tea Room over on TikTok, please do yourself a favor and go follow them. They do the coziest recommendations ever, and I'm always constantly on the lookout about what they're recommending. Honestly, anything that they recommend, I'm probably gonna read because I am them, they are me, we are one. We literally have the same taste in books, so it's a given. I think we're soul sisters, and Meg doesn't know it yet, but I know it. Anyways, that book is called Lightfall, The Girl in the Galdrian by Tim Probert. Look at that cozy little sketch, you guys. That is so cute. I don't know why this little creature right here is giving me, I don't know if you guys have seen My Neighbor Totoro from Studio Ghibli. Why is that giving me Totoro vibes? That looks like Totoro, and I love Totoro so much. And this is book one, so it's a whole series, which I'm super excited about. And also the images inside, you guys. Like, look at these beautiful color palettes. It is just adorable. So it says here, deep in the heart of Urpa stands the Salty Pigs, Tonics and Tinctures, home of the wise pig wizard and his adopted granddaughter Bia. As keepers of the endless flame, they live a quiet and peaceful life, crafting medicines and potions for the people of their once prosperous world. All that changes when Bia meets Cad, a race thought to be long extinct. Cad believes that if anyone can help him find his missing people, it's the pig wizard. But when the two arrive home, the pig wizard is nowhere to be found. Fearing for the pig wizard's safety, Bia and Cad set out across Urpa to find him while the danger fights its way out of the shadows and into the light. Can this reluctant duo get their act together in time to save the world? Or has Urpa truly seen its last sunrise? That is so cute. A pig wizard? Yes, please. I'm so excited to read this one. The next one that I have on here is another graphic novel. I picked up 2 graphic novels because I am on a mission to up my graphic novel game. I love graphic novels. I feel like graphic novels are a great palate cleanser, quote unquote, book. They're just, a lot of them are quickly to get through, and who doesn't love a book with pictures? I do. So I picked up The Moth Keeper by Kay O'Neill, and you guys, another beautiful cover. Look at that cover. I am here for the covers. I will solely buy books based on their covers, even if the storyline sometimes isn't that great, but I have a deep appreciation for illustration and for design and for book cover designs, and this is just so cozy and cute. I love this. I could live in this cover for sure. It says here, being the Moth Keeper is a great honor. Anya is finally taking her place as protector of the moon moths. The luminous creatures enable the night flower to bloom, and the night village needs the flower to thrive. Being the Moth Keeper is a great responsibility. Night after night, it is lonely in the desert with only one lantern for light. Still, Anya is eager to prove her worth, to show her things to her friends and her village. But is it worth the cost? And yet something isn't right. What happens when Anya glimpses the one thing that could destroy what she's meant to protect, the one thing she has secretly longed for her entire life? I forgot to show you guys the inside of this. Look at that, you guys. The illustrations are just gorgeous. So gorgeous. So those were my only 2 graphic novels that I have here that I bought from Barnes & Nobles. That was 5 books down. We have 3 more to go. This next book is another cozy recommendation by Meg over at Meg's Tea Room, and that is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. The only thing that I know about this book is that it has something to do with like the Regency time, the Regency era. That is all I know. But again, this was a recommendation by Meg over on Meg's Tea Room, and again, anything that they recommend, I'm gonna read. It says on here, ever since she was cursed by a fairy, Theodora Eddings has had no sense of fear or embarrassment, an unfortunate condition that leaves her prone to accidental scandal. Dora hopes to be a quiet, sensible wallflower during the London season, but when Elias Wilder, the handsome, peculiar, and utterly ill-mannered Lord Sorcerer, discovers her condition, she is instead drawn into dangerous fairy affairs. Why did I not know that this book was about fairies? I am like on my fairy hype right now. Why didn't I know this was about fairies? Okay, this just makes me extra more excited about this book. If her reputation can survive both her curse and her sudden connection with the least liked man in all of high society, then she and her family may yet reclaim their normal place in the world. But the longer Dora spends with Elias, the more she begins to suspect that one may indeed fall in love even with only half a soul. Ooh, it says on here, whimsical, witty, and brimming over the charm, Olivia Atwater's delightful debut will transform you to a magical version of Regency England, where the only thing more meddlesome than a fairy is a marriage-minded mother. I literally just made a video about how over I was about women or people in particular finding themselves because of arranged marriages. So I'm hoping that is not what this is. And even if it is, I'm hoping that the storyline can still outshine that aspect, because honestly, I'm so over arranged marriages in books. I think we can do better than just arranged marriages being the cause of leading someone to something marvelous. Okay, so the next book that I have on here is actually not the book that I was originally looking for. I originally wanted The Library of the Dead by T.L. Huchu, but they didn't have that book in stock at my local Barnes & Nobles. But I did find this one, and this is Our Lady of Mysterious Ailments by T.L. Huchu. And The Library of the Dead looks kind of like this. It has a similar cover, and I'm assuming these, I don't know if these are like Oh, you know what? I just seen on here that this is book 2, and I'm assuming that the Library of the Dead is book 1. Let me see if you can read these as standalones. I don't know if you can actually read these as standalones. I didn't notice that these were, I think it's like a whole series. Yep, it's a whole series. Okay, so I just looked up that you could read this as a standalone, but that it is encouraged to read the first book. So I guess I'll just still give it a go. I did originally want the Library of the Dead, but apparently you could still read this as a standalone. But I mean, the synopsis sounds really good. It says on here, when Ropa Moyo discovers an occult underground library, she expects great things. She's really into Edinburgh's secret societies, but turns out they are less into her. So instead of getting paid to work magic, she's had to accept a crummy unpaid internship, and her with bills to pay and a pet fox to feed. Then her friend Priya offers her a job on the side. Priya works at Our Lady of Mysterious Ailments, a very specialized hospital where a new illness is resisting magical and medical remedies alike. The first patient is a teenage boy, Max Wu, and his healers are baffled. If Ropa can solve the case, she might earn as she learns and impress her mentor, Sir Calander. Her sleuthing will lead her to a lost fortune, an evening spirit, and a secret buried deep in Scotland's past. But how are they connected? Lives are at stake, and Ropa is running out of time. Now I remember why I picked this up. The storyline sounds really, really good, even though I was originally looking for the other book. But this one will do, and I'm hoping I'm not missing out or confused too much because I am skipping right to this one. Or maybe I'll just read the Library of the Dead on Libby or something. I don't know, we'll figure that out. Okay, you guys, that was 7. So the next and final book that I have on here from my Barnes & Noble's haul is The Thorns Remain by Ja Harwood. Another storyline that just sounds so good. Listen to this, guys. 1919, in a Highland village forgotten by the world, the young people who remain after war and flu will soon head south to make something of themselves. Moira Jean and her friends venture to the forest for a last night of laughter before parting ways. She too planned to leave once, but her lover died in France, and with him, her future. The friends light a fire and dance, but with every twirl about the flames, strange new dancers thread between them, music streaming from the trees. The Fae have joined the dance. Suddenly, Moira Jean finds herself all alone, her friends spirited away. For the Fae feel left behind and forgotten too. Led by the darkly handsome Lord of the Fae, they are out to make themselves known once more. Moira Jean must enter into a bargain with the Lord to save her friends, and fast, for the longer they spend with the Fae, the less like themselves they will be. If Moira Jean cannot save her friends before Beltane, they will be lost forever. Again, another fairy book. I'm telling you guys, I am in my fairy hype right now. Give me anything fairies. So with that being said, if you have any fairy book recommendations, please comment those down below. I need all of those books. So these are all the Barnes & Noble's books that I picked up. The funny thing is that they had that sale, the 33% off all hardcovers, and I picked up 8 books, you guys, and only 2 of them were actually hardcovers. I had gift cards, so it wasn't a problem, but the sale was on the hardcovers and I ended up only getting 2 of them. But I'm very happy with my purchases. These are books that I've been wanting and that have been sitting on my want to read pile, and I'm glad I got them. Now for the other books that I mentioned, I'm gonna start off with the book that I recently thrifted. I went to the thrift store yesterday and I always love going through the book sections, and usually I can find quite a bit that I want, but some of them are pretty beat up. Sometimes they're not in the best conditions, but I found one that I remember reading about somewhere and I completely forgot about, and I came across it at my local thrift store, and that is The Familiars by Stacey Halls. This was only $5.99, which was a pretty big steal, and the condition is pretty good on the book. To be completely honest, I forgot what this was even about. It says on here, Fleetwood Shuttleworth, the mistress of Pendle Hill's Gawthorpe Hall, is with child. Anxious to produce an heir, she is distraught to find a letter from her physician that warns her husband she will not survive this pregnancy. Devastated, Fleetwood wanders the estate grounds where she catches a young woman poaching. Alice Gray claims she is a local midwife and promises to help Fleetwood deliver a healthy baby, but a witch obsessed obsessed frenzy sweeps the countryside. Even woodland creatures or familiars are thought to be dark companions of the unholy, and Alice soon stands accused of witchcraft. Time is running out. The witch trials are about to begin. With both their lives at stake, Fleetwood must prove Alice's innocence. Only they know the truth. Okay, so this is about the witch trials, which makes me extra happier because you guys know that I love witch novels. Witch novels are my thing. If I were to write a book, or if I was to write another book, better yet, when I write another book, it's definitely gonna be witch themed. I love a good witch book, and I love reading about witches. I'm excited to get to this one. All right, you guys, and this other book was sent to me by the author and the publisher. This is called Songs of Irie by Asha Ashanti Bromfield. I was reached out by the publisher if they can send me a copy of this book, and honestly, the synopsis sounded so interesting that I just couldn't say no. They even sent me a little article just explaining what this book is about, and a little postcard of the author and the book. If you guys didn't know, this is actually the author who is also an actress, and she stars as one of the Pussycat members in Riverdale, which I thought was so cool. I didn't even know that the author followed me over on Instagram, but she follows me over on Instagram, and I was just super fangirling because I love Riverdale. I mean, I didn't finish watching Riverdale, but there wasn't a time in my life when I was super into Riverdale, and it was like the thing for me to watch. But the author reached out and asked if her and her publisher could send me a copy of her newest book. It says here, it's 1976 and Jamaica's warring political parties have made divisions between rich and poor even wider. Irie and Jilly come from very different backgrounds, one from the turbulent hearts of Kingston, the other from a gated community, but the two bond through a shared love of reggae, spending time together as a record store listening to music that opens Jilly's mind. As tensions build in the streets, so do the tensions between the girls, their budding romance complicating things further. Can their bond survive this impossible divide? It says here, Asha Ashanti Bromfield has written a compelling, emotional, and heart-trending story of a friendship during wartime and what it means to fight for your words, your life, and the love of your life. It makes me so excited for this. I cannot wait to read this one. Thank you so much to the author Asha Ashanti Bromfield, and also Wednesday Books for sending me over a copy of Songs of Irie. The final book that I have here on this haul is actually a graphic book, and this was sent to me by the author. This is called Soothing Foodie, written and illustrated by Justin Jerome Mitchell. When the author sent me the link to their book, I immediately loved the cover. Like, look at that. It's so beautiful. Per the website description, it says on here, Soothing Foodie is an illustrated, creative, nourishment-themed book of victuals and enrichment with invigorating, God-inspired rhymes that revitalize and restore proper healthiness. I said yes to the author sending me this book because as someone who has had a long voyage with food, and I'm always constantly trying to restore my relationship with food in general, I am always looking for ways where I can learn and adapt new practices and learn about the nourishment of foods and really find that balance that suits me and where I land with food in general. It has been a long history of battling with food. I am also someone who has a chronic illness and lives with a chronic illness, and my relationship with food has definitely affected my chronic illness, and it is very important for me to have a healthy relationship with food. And so when the author reached out about Soothing Foodie, I couldn't be happier. I felt like this came at the right time. This was the year for me that I started really focusing on my wellness as a whole, not just my body but also my mind, and I really super focused on self-care even more, on my mental health. This was the year that I seeked out therapy. This was the year that I started going to the gym, and this has definitely been the year that I started looking at food in general in a different lens. The illustrations on here are super cute. We are following this little creature right here that is made up of all kinds of vegetables, and each page just follows our main little character, and they are teaching you something about nutrition. I just thought this was so creative, and I think this is so cute. I feel like this book is a great book for those who are seeking to establish their relationship with food in general and to get a better understanding of how food affects us as a whole. The author also sent me this really cute keychain keychain of our little main character. Look at that. I just couldn't believe how cute this little veggie person is. Oh, it is just so adorable. Thank you so much to the author, Justin Jerome Mitchell, for sending me a copy of Soothing Foodie. If you wish to support independent authors, or if Soothing Foodie sounds like something that you would be interested in, I will leave all the links to that down below. And I will also leave the links to Songs of Irie down below if you are interested in picking this book up. With that being said, friends, I really hope that you enjoyed this book haul. I believe this is the last video that I am sharing for 2023. I am so happy and excited for all the content that I was able to share with you all this year, and it just makes me so excited for what 2024 has in store for us, for my channel, and for just continuing to build community, to reading a lot more and more books. So it's gonna be so exciting. It's gonna be an exciting reading year in 2024. So friends, I hope that you have enjoyed this year. If this year wasn't what you thought it was going to be, I sure as heck didn't. I know it is devastating with how we are ending this year, with everything that's going on in the world, but I hope that you can find some solace and some community with folks on here, and hopefully that gives you a sense of support and community. And here's to wishing and creating the year that we do want to have in 2024. Let's just pretend I have a cup here and let's cheers to that. Happy New Year, friends. I hope that you enjoy your new year, and I will see you all next year. Until then, friends, take care. Happy New Year, and bye for now.